Hey guys, Zeppelin here and Dan Foster here in Michigan. We are in the fig patch, ready to put the figs away for winter. A lot of times people ask, when do you do it? Will they take a frost? And so you can see, I've been waiting for a frost for a long time. I actually been hoping for a frost. That doesn't usually happen. But I've wanted to get these going and get them put away, but we just have not really had any of the real cold nights that you need to really pop the leaves off these things. You can see they're nipped pretty hard. We had a couple 29-degree mornings. We had ice in the water buckets outside. So we got enough frost that I think these leaves are going to really fall off by the weekend. And actually we're really lucky because it's supposed to be 70 this weekend. So not only did we get the cold weathers that really sent these into dormancy, but we also got some great weather coming up in the weekend to put these things away. So really blessed with the weather that we had this year. It was a nice, hot, dry summer. We had a real long kind of Indian summer. And so now, yeah, we're ready to put these things away. So what we'll do is we'll take the irrigation out. I'll disconnect them from the post. I put these posts in the ground to help them stop them from blowing away in the summertime, and that does a really good job. So I'll get all the irrigation wound up, blown out, and then I'll start wheeling these things over to the driveway where I'll do some pruning. I'll save some cuttings. I have some giveaways. I've probably got about 15-20 plants that I'm going to give away for the year. They're not necessarily varieties that I don't like or don't want anymore. It's just that they're so big. Like this is Bourgeois Grease, and I trimmed on it really hard last year, and I've had this one for a long time. But what I might do on this one is trim it down, save the cuttings, sell some plants, and just regenerate and restart over on this one. These big pots, these 26-inch pots are so big, but I don't have enough of them for everything. So I want to put some newer special figs in these bigger pots and really get them growing and get them going crazy. So, so yeah, let's disconnect a couple of these. And one thing I have here, if you're going to get into dealing with really big figs, you really need a B&B cart or some sort of a plant dolly. They become so heavy, so big, that you're going to hurt yourself if you try to do these all by yourself and you don't have a method. So I'm lucky and fortunate that I have this cart that I borrow from work, and we use this at work to move large pots around the gardens. So I'll borrow this for a week and nobody will even know that I borrowed it, and I'll send it back. But this thing is amazing. This helped me out tremendously. So I'll let you guys see that in action. So yeah, let's get after it. Okay. Zeppelin, he's looking for a fig. He wants one. I don't have any for you, buddy. I'm sorry. This is just not very good.
He's going into fig withdrawals. He hasn't had one in a few weeks.
Take the irrigation off. Wheel this one over to the driveway and we'll come back and get the next one.
I'm videotaping right now, but normally I get to help him load them up. And we just kind of gather the big ones all together and
Come here, Zep. Go get another one.
come on, buddy. Come on. He's a good dog. He doesn't go out there without us telling him to. Go on. Get.
I'll probably have to do some decent root pruning. People talk a lot about root pruning, and I haven't done a lot of root pruning. They say the older the plant gets, the bigger it gets, the more root bound it gets. It starts to go down on fruit production. You can see on this one. This is probably pretty root bound. The stem on this thing is huge, but I have no shortness of fruit on this plant. I will say though that it seems like this year this black, well, it's not black Madeira, Prado, which is similar to my black Madeira, it split a lot. So that could be due to being root bound. But
very productive.
I got my little lizard here. The lizard, it wards off evil spirits. No, it doesn't. I think it's supposed to get rid of my, it keeps the birds away.
Oh,
So.
Seems to do a good job. If only it would keep the wasp away, that'd be great.
Yeah, that would be great.
I don't think we have many problems with the birds, actually, with the figs. We have more problem with the wasps.
What do you think? Is that good enough for now?
Oh, yeah. Good?
So we got all these kind of lifted, and we're over in the driveway. How many did we get? 3, 6, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. 13 figs, 13 of my biggest figs, and that's all that I have in those big containers. One of them, when we were bringing it over, it was sealed really good to the ground, and it really wasn't draining very well. The water really stinks in that one, so I'll have to make a note to check the drainage on that one, maybe drill a couple extra holes. But I'm going to go ahead and what I'm going to do is I might start trimming them a little bit, but I also might let the leaves fall off on their own a little bit more on their own. So this is kind of the first step, getting the big ones over here, getting them trimmed, and inspecting them, making sure that they're good to go in for the winter. And the big ones got to go in first, and then the little ones will come in later. So I'll use the pruners to prune them all. I'll wash my pruners in between trees. I'll put the cuttings in boxes after I've washed them and dipped them in a fungicide solution, and then I'll store them in boxes with sphagnum moss. So, and I'll show you that process a little later. So that's all I wanted to really accomplish tonight. With the shorter days, by the time I get home from work, I got about an hour to do as much as I can. This is about all I'm going to do tonight. So thanks for watching. Okay, we've processed a couple of these figs. I wanted to take a break, and I wanted to show you guys kind of my process for taking the bigger plants, trimming them, and then putting them in the garage. So here I have my Ponte Tresa, and so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the leaves off, and they come off pretty easy. I'm looking for branches that are touching each other and kind of growing funky. You see this one's kind of touching. That one looks funny the way that it's growing, and that's not right. And I've got some suckers coming out of the ground. Those are interfering with the structure, so I'll probably get rid of those too. So as I walk around the plant, I'm kind of looking at which ones I might take off. And luckily it's a real beautiful day out today. It's Wednesday, November 4th. 4th, right? Yeah, 4th. And just the weather is just beautiful. I definitely want to make sure. I remember doing this last year and it was snowing. So, okay, so then I've got my pruners here. First of all, I'm wearing gloves. Sometimes I wear vinyl gloves. Today I'm just wearing whatever I had laying around. And the reason why I do that is when I start pulling these figs off, a lot of the sap comes off, and when I start taking the cuttings, the sap comes off, and that kind of, it gets real sticky and it kind of irritates me, so I don't like that. So yeah, I got my gloves on, and I've got my pruners sitting here in chlorine bleach water. So it's about a 10-15% solution. So in between plants, I'll let the blades soak in that bleach so that I'm not transferring things from one plant to the other. Some people don't really worry about that. I know all my figs have fig mosaic virus, but a lot of times they'll say that fig mosaic virus is a cocktail of different viruses, and I don't want all my figs to have all the different strains of the virus, so I clean them anyway. So like I say, this one's kind of growing into that, kind of funky. I get rid of that. I'm going to get rid of all these little side shoots. These will probably pop back up in the spring anyway, but I just don't like the way that looks. I do prefer a little bit more of a shrub look than a tree look. That's still got a nice look to it though. Alright, what else would I take out? This one's a little goofy here. Alright, so that's got a good structure to it. I probably won't take much more off that. So now I've got these cuttings, and I'm going to put these over here on my table. Why don't you come around here and look at how I process these. Right here, and yeah. I'll put my pruners back in my bleach solution. I've got a bin with an empty nameplate on it, and a marker, a Sharpie. And on each bin I have some tags left over from last year. I've got 7 of those. And this is Ponte Tresa. Alright, so how many cuttings do I got out of this one? I'm shooting for about 20 cuttings per plant for rooting next year. And so I want at least 3 nodes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. That won't fit in the box, so that's a nice cutting, but it won't fit in the box, so I'm gonna have to go with that. So what is that, 22? I want to make sure that all the leaf matter is out of there, because that'll just mold up and cause problems. And so on the box I put 22 cuttings, and I had 7 labels. So this tells me how many labels I need to run for new stakes. So I want to make sure that I get all my labels run. And then I'm going to put a little bit of moist sphagnum moss on the top. Sprinkle that on top. File this one away and go on to the next variety. So that's kind of how I do all of my fig cuttings for the season. And over there you can see all the figs that I've got to categorize and get put away. So so I'll continue to do the large figs, and I've got some giveaways I got to get rid of this weekend. And then I also have to go through all of the square pots and go through those. So I've got my work cut out for me in the next couple days, but we've got some great weather for it. So that's my process. Good afternoon, this is Dan again here in Michigan on another beautiful fall day. And I'm yanking in the figs and pulling them out of the ground and stacking them away. Actually, I haven't started stacking them away. Really what I'm doing is figuring out which ones I want to keep, which ones I want to get rid of, and taking cuttings, storing the cuttings. And so I just wanted to take a break here and show you how I'm doing this part. This is not as much fun as the dolly. I'm here at home this afternoon by myself. I have the day off. I wanted to capture the ability to use this great weather to get these guys in. So I've been working pretty much since 7:30, 8 o'clock this morning, pulling these things out of the ground. Let's go take a look at what we're doing. These are all my giveaways here. I'm a little bit nervous that I won't be able to find enough people to come and grab them, but I've been pulling these out of the ground, and some of them root into the ground, some of them don't. You can see when they pop through the bottom of the pot and root into the ground, usually those are the ones that don't turn yellow. They stay green the longest, and the ones that aren't rooted in the ground are the ones that start to turn colors quicker. So sometimes that's kind of an indication on how well they rooted in. So some of them didn't, some of them did, but I like it when they root in. I mean, it's a little harder to get them out of the ground, but they seem to grab the nutrients a little better and split maybe a little bit less because there's a little bit less water variability on those figs. So I don't have any data to back that up. That's just a feeling. So yeah, so yep, so that one didn't root into the ground at all. What I'll have to do if this one did. Yeah, I pull this guy and it won't move. This guy here moves, so I've got to basically what I got to do is pull on it, and if it doesn't go, I got to get the pruners or the loppers and sever those roots. So, and then what I do is I put 4 per cart and then wheel them up to the front driveway. So I wanted to add that in just so you knew how I did that. In the spring, sometimes what I'll do is I'll put 2x4s across the cart with wings on each side, so I can carry 6 to 8 of them at a time. After I get done trimming and stacking the 20-inch square pots, I'll do the same with the 12-inch pots. The 12-inch pots I probably won't take as much cuttings off. There's really not much to take there, and a lot of those I haven't tasted yet, so there's no real reason to root anything that I haven't tasted. In the past I've done a little bit of that, and it just makes me too nervous, especially with what happened to the Col de Dame Gigantina. That didn't seem to be right. So that's how I'm doing it. And we'll take a couple pictures, couple videos as I go, and share the process with you guys. Thanks. Okay, I have all the trimming complete and I'm ready to pack these things away in the garage. These are all my giveaways. I got some that I'm going to drop off at a friend's house, and then got all these guys all trimmed up, ready to go. And we've got the garage cleaned up a little bit. And then, so this is the start. This is the big ones first, and then we're going to start stacking these in. Got everything kind of situated for the winter the way we want it, and got all the fig cuttings sorted here and in their bins. There's about, I don't know, 50 varieties or so. So let's get after it. We're going to move them in. It's a beautiful day here on Friday, the 6th. And another gorgeous day, and I got my helper here today, so we should rock it.